Welcome to Founders Day 2021, live from the new Toaster Innovation Hub in Walter Library. We're thrilled you can join us for an abbreviated and online version of our annual Founders Day celebration. We've been gathering at the end of each academic year since 2007 to celebrate student entrepreneurs from across campus. Each year we hear from current undergraduate and graduate students about their entrepreneurial projects and startups, with students from a broad range of colleges across campus sharing their progress and learnings from experiential entrepreneurship courses. These students share their passion for entrepreneurship and their desire to change the world, before returning as alumni to share their progress and advice for current students. Working on these startups while they were students at the University of Minnesota, these alums have launched more than 160 companies since 2005. These student startups have gone on to win 15 Minnesota Cup divisions and raise over $100 million in capital. And already during 2021, two of these student startups have been acquired: Zipnosis by Bright Health and Mighty Spark Foods by private equity firm Swander Pace. We also gather to recognize the community supporters and our alumni and faculty that make these experiences possible. We're excited today to finally be able to recognize a tremendously successful alumnus and an even better person, Lee Jones. We were fortunate to have announced her award shortly before the COVID outbreak, but today we will finally have a chance to fully recognize her for her accomplishments and to hear from her directly. Today you will hear from 11 student teams representing courses in 5 colleges across the university. So join us during commencement week at the University of Minnesota as we congratulate our graduating students and future entrepreneurial leaders. Welcome to Founders Day 2021.
Thank you for joining us. We are broadcasting live from the Toaster Innovation Hub in Walter Library on the campus of the University of Minnesota. This is our 8th annual Founders Day event where we celebrate our student entrepreneurs and showcase the experiential classes that take place across the entire campus. My name is John Stavik. I have the pleasure of serving as the director of the Gary S. Holmes Center for Entrepreneurship. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and connect the next generation of entrepreneurs. We do this through a series of engaging outreach programs, including the Minnesota Cup and Grow North, as well as unique experiential education courses and programs, a number of which you'll hear about today. In addition to these courses, you will hear from students participating in experiential courses from 4 different colleges. And in these courses, students have the opportunity to design and develop new products, to work with leading entrepreneurs and assist them in the development of their business, and even to launch and operate real businesses as part of the curriculum. So I'll be joined today by Carla Pavone and Megan Voorhees, 2 of our leaders across campus in the areas of technology commercialization and social venturing. And they will be introducing a series of videos that relate to the areas that they work in. Each of these will be followed by comments from our Entrepreneurs of the Year. We had an opportunity to sit down with them last week here in the Toaster, and we'll share highlights from those discussions. But I think we also want to talk about this past year in terms of it being a learning opportunity for all of us. And I think we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about change being an opportunity for entrepreneurs. But last year, I don't think any of us imagined the degree of change that we were going to be dealing with. And I think if we're honest, those of us working and teaching experiential courses wondered if it would actually work or whether students would be up to the challenge. And imagine going out for observing customers or initial customer discovery discussions and being in a situation where you're wearing a mask and have to be physically separated from the customers you're trying to get close to. Or imagine trying to form a startup team and become a high-performing team when the individuals on your team you've never met in person before. These are the type of challenges that our students were able to work through this year. So it would have been easy for us to wait until things were reopened and we were all able to get together in a big event like we've done in years past. But we wanted to celebrate during commencement week here at the university the students that chose to step forward and persevere, the students that chose to take action and use business as a force for good to make changes in the community and to solve a lot of the pressing problems that are out there. We also recognize that the past year has been challenging for groups within our community, and we applaud the number of student groups that have helped support a number of businesses owned by entrepreneurs of color. We also have had teams serving frontline workers with thousands of meals and helping restaurants stay open and in business. And we also, and you'll see later in today's broadcast, examples of teams working with organizations fighting for social justice. So we're excited to share with you. We teach to show and not tell, so I'm going to stop talking and we're going to let the students show you what they've achieved in these classes. The first set of 4 videos are all undergraduate students from either Carlson School, College of Design, or the College of Food, Ag, and Natural Sciences. After these 4 videos, you will see a 2-minute clip giving an overview of the Toaster Innovation Hub, which is a partnership between the Home Center for Entrepreneurship and the University of Minnesota Libraries. This will be the gathering point for students, student organizations, and all types of events where students can collaborate and work together on innovation and entrepreneurship projects. So with that, we're going to jump to our first student video, which will be shared by our Student Entrepreneur of the Year and the Tilo company that she and 3 of her fellow students co-founded in this year's 2-semester Entrepreneurship in Action class.
Hi, my name is Morgan, and I'm one of the co-founders of Tilo, a company changing the status quo surrounding mobility aid usage. At Tilo, we understand a mobility aid is more than a medical device. It's also a lifestyle device. Similar to a pair of shoes, it's something that can support you, keep you active, even be fashionable, and allow you to go out and do the things you care about most. This is why we are working on the first significant innovation to the rollator walker in over 40 years. A device that's remained largely unchanged since its creation in 1978, yet something millions of people rely on every day. Current forward-facing rollator designs can roll too far ahead of users, causing falls, poor posture, bad walking habits, and overdependence on the device, while also promoting negative stigmas and embarrassment for users. These safety concerns are why we observe physical therapists adding weights to rollator baskets and wrapping TheraBand around their patients' backs to prevent falls. Do-it-yourself solutions that try to make up for a fundamentally flawed design. By learning from younger chronic illness patients, we found that the challenges of using a mobility aid aren't exclusive to the elderly. Stroke victims, chronic illness patients, children with cerebral palsy, and athletes with injuries are just a few of the use cases that make it clear we're solving a problem for anyone with mobility complications, and not just an age demographic. This realization allowed us to approach the problem with a fresh perspective. Unlike competitors, we put the user at the center of our device, so it moves with them, not away from them. Our patent-pending reverse frame has integrated back support that prevents it from rolling ahead of users. Proper leg clearance means a user can take large strides without kicking their seat. And since the device lives behind the user, it is both out of sight and out of mind, allowing our user to be opened up to the world, so they are seen first, not their mobility aid, allowing users to show off a killer outfit or simply receive a hug from their child. By integrating load cells and wheel encoders directly into our device, we are able to measure speed, distance, and weight put on the frame. And with these simple metrics, our device and mobile application allows users to track activity, set baselines, and monitor their progress, much like the wrist-wearable activity trackers that don't work while using a walker. With the option to share their metrics with physical therapists, we bring therapy into the home while providing something that both physical therapists and patients have been deprived of: tangible data with measurable outcomes on the progress you're making. By actively engaging with our community of users and physical therapists, we are co-creating our device to solve for the unmet needs our competitors continue to neglect. Mobility is truly just another aspect of our health, and being proactive about maintaining it is no different than brushing your teeth or taking your vitamins. So while Tilo's vision may start with a personal mobility aid, we intend to continue to develop innovative solutions to keep people of all ages and conditions living independent, active lifestyles.
In our Product Innovation Lab this semester, we were tasked with creating a product for General Mills to support the Lucky Charms brand we all know and love. Our team created a cereal-related device that we like to call the Adjustable. To further develop this product, we sent an undercover team to uncover the secrets of this elusive piece of breakfast-eating technology from a source who wishes to remain anonymous.
Can you confirm that no children will hear what I'm about to tell you?
Yes, we can confirm. Now tell us a little more about the magical device.
Aye, its magical force keeps the powers of me charms intact. I disguise it as a hat to keep the charms hidden from the children.
The Adjustable is an innovative product that keeps your cereal crunchy. It has two simple dishwasher-safe parts, an outer bowl shaped like Lucky the Leprechaun's hat, and an inner bowl with charm-shaped cutouts that works as a strainer. When the user isn't actively eating their cereal, they can simply rotate the rim of the hat up to separate the milk from the cereal and keep their cereal crunchy. In addition, there's a non-slip bottom to prevent the bowl from sliding when being used.
Wow, that sounds pretty amazing.
Aye, the device's power is unrivaled. There is nothing out there like it.
After conducting 2 surveys of parent respondents, we found that 76% would say their kids will not eat soggy cereal, and 90% would consider buying a product to prevent soggy cereal. Now we can see the gap in the current cereal bowl market. What a better way to create a kids-targeted soggy cereal solution than to incorporate the magic of one of the most popular kids' cereals. I guess our anonymous source was a little right when he said there's nothing quite like the Adjustable.
Now why are you so afraid of the kids getting a hold of it?
The kids have been after me charms for years. Who knows what would happen if they got their hands on it? They'd be unstoppable. Me charms are magically delicious.
And I think our users would agree. As you can see, we had 2 girls ages 6 and 8 test an earlier Adjustable prototype, and I would say they were able to handle its powers.
I like it so the Lucky Charms don't melt.
We gained valuable insight from this user testing. We found that the bowl tended to slide around on the table and that it was easy for a young user to accidentally twist the inner bowl out of the base. We addressed both of these issues in our final Adjustable design.
How did you make this magical device?
Whoa, I can't tell you that much, but my leprechaun engineers have been on it for months.
Our virtual model helped us visualize how our product would need to be manufactured, including methods we had previously been unfamiliar with, like overmolding.
I can't let this be known to the world. Promise me you'll make sure the kids don't find out.
Well, the kids might not know about it yet, but we have some exciting concepts for branding and packaging. After doing some research about existing products and talking to industry experts, we envisioned the Adjustable being presented in the cereal aisle next to the Lucky Charms cereal.
Sorry, your phones are ringing. What? We've been compromised. Marshmallow power disappeared.
Hey, my name's Alex Kruger and this will be my 7th year beekeeping. Honeybees and other pollinators are responsible for 1/3 of the food we eat today. And with their population significantly declining due to poor nutrition, pathogens, parasites, and pesticides, we at Backyard Buzz want to educate and bring excitement into the beekeeping world with our Backyard Beehive service. Think of Backyard Buzz like an Airbnb for bees. If you have a backyard and want the bees to spend the summer with you, well, Backyard Buzz can make that happen. We first receive applications by homeowners and corporations wishing to make a difference in this global problem, but don't want to take the time or the expense to learn beekeeping or set up their own hive. After a quick scan of your location, we set up a time to conduct a yard evaluation. Our service is ideal for those with a garden so that our customers can visualize the impact the bees are providing. However, a garden is not a requirement. The yard evaluation is done to ensure the property is the right fit and follows the respective municipal guidelines. We help fill out the necessary paperwork, submit it, and keep copies of it all in our cloud. Near the beginning of April, we install the beehive in a 2-foot fence surrounding it to keep children and animals at a safe distance. At the end of April, we install the bees for the summer and check on them every couple weeks to make sure that they are happy and healthy. Our premium package includes a custom painted beehive, educational lessons during our bi-weekly hive checks, and professional photos of the bees to show off to your friends and family on social media. At the end of summer, we come to harvest the honey from the hive and reward our customers with 3 bottles of honey from their backyard. It's hard to get more local than that. After harvest, we load the bees up on our semis and take them on a road trip to California for their winter vacation. There, they will stay warm and help with the almond pollination before returning to your backyard the following spring. This service came to fruition during my time taking APEC 3551, Value-Added Entrepreneurship in Food, Agriculture, and Natural Resource Sciences. We learned the importance of creating value, asking the right questions to advance our product or service, develop a thorough and effective business plan, and how to pitch our plan. Backyard Buzz will be conducting our beta test this summer to tie up any loose ends before launching in the Twin Cities market next summer. Thank you, and I hope you will be a customer of Backyard Buzz.
Hi, I'm Sunwoo, and I am a current freshman at the University of Minnesota and an analyst and partner at Atlan Ventures. Atlan Ventures is a $1 million venture capital fund fully operated by 32 undergraduate students at the University of Minnesota. As a fund, we focus on opportunities that solve problems felt by our generation to generate strong returns. At Atlan, all 32 partners are able to gain exposure to early-stage investing, foster their entrepreneurial curiosities, and gain insight and connections into the ecosystem of innovation in Minnesota. This past year was filled with sourcing deals, conducting due diligence, and we ultimately ended up investing in 4 amazing companies, being Recess, Knit, Kindu, and Phantom. In total, we have invested in 14 companies since 2018. In addition to the companies, we added community-driven events like the Atlan podcast, hosted office hours to meet University of Minnesota students and founders, weekly Atlan Gen Z VC Clubhouse conversations, monthly newsletters to all Atlan stakeholders, and calls with Atlan alumni. This past April, we hosted the Student Venture Capital Summit in partnership with Dakota Venture Group from the University of North Dakota for VC education, networking, and a pitch competition. Throughout COVID, we met weekly virtually in the fall and in person for the spring term. Congratulations to our 7 graduating seniors who've been with Atlan the past 3 or 4 years, and special thank you to our advisors, guest speakers, and alumni for the constant support and guidance. Sincerely, Atlan.
Welcome to The Toaster, where ideas are generated, connections are made, and entrepreneurial spirits are ignited. A home for students and student organizations, The Toaster is an entry point for all things innovation and entrepreneurship at the university and beyond. Our 6,500 square foot space offers a collaborative environment supporting everything from one-on-one meetings and small group sessions to large-scale events and workshops. A dynamic environment provides a unique platform to share content and ideas, facilitate dialogue, or simply connect to fellow students, faculty, and mentors. Our makerspace provides hands-on access to equipment and supplies to boost your creativity or build your next prototype. And access to media services equipment and software will help you tell your story, from product to pavement, classroom to community, idea to action. The best part, it's free. Free to students so that students can be free to ideate, make, communicate, and launch. At The Toaster, we believe you have the capacity to identify our greatest challenges and deliver solutions. Come see what's popping at the Toaster Innovation Hub.
Hi, I'm Carla Pabone. I lead MinCore, the National Science Foundation supported program that teaches the scientists and engineers how to advance their technologies from the lab to the marketplace. In our next segment, you will be seeing a series of short student videos from 4 courses that focus on innovation-driven entrepreneurship. Our first video is from a pair of PhD students who participated in our MinCore Value Proposition Design workshop a couple of years ago. then the NSF National I-Corps Teams program this year and are now in business. We'll then see videos from courses offered by the Carlson School of Management and the College of Science and Engineering, where students apply their education to develop solutions for sponsoring companies or their own ventures. Following the student videos, we will hear comments from Lee Jones, a remarkable entrepreneurial leader and alumna who is being recognized as the university's 2021 Entrepreneur of the Year.
During one of our first I-Corps interviews, agronomist Mike Kopas told us that nitrogen management is like golfing in the dark. And while not all of our customer interviews use such colorful metaphorical language, each of them in their own way helped us get a better understanding of our initial beachhead customer segment and the value propositions. I'm Brian Bowman, entrepreneurial lead for Team 2201, Insight Sensing. We help farmers and agronomists make the most out of the data they have to provide them with the agronomic insights they need as they manage nitrogen fertilizer on their farms. When we started I-Corps, we thought agronomists were asking us to help them answer the question, tell me what my plants need. In essence, a value proposition for plants. What we heard from agronomists is that they're looking for peace of mind. Peace of mind knowing that the decisions they've made aren't going to cost them $100,000. Peace of mind in that they can sleep at night, not worrying that they made the wrong decision that'll get them fired. The other thing we heard from agronomists is that they're looking for a more convenient decision-making process. They want faster real-time insights that fit into their existing decision-making workflows. They want to be able to monitor their plant's nitrogen status on a daily basis without necessarily having to go trudge across all of their fields. During I-Corps, we learned how to better identify our initial beachhead customer segment. We really focused in on finding the customers that had the greatest unmet needs for the most critical jobs to be done. Another thing we learned during I-Corps is that in order to provide our customers with the more convenient experience that they're desiring, we need to integrate into the existing value chains. Finally, we learned that customer discovery is an iterative process. It's not something you do once and then forget all about. The skills and methodologies we learned from I-Corps will help us as we move forward.
Watkins, and I'm the founder of Proper Pack, and our product is a paper can carrier that's made for Minnesota microbreweries looking for socially responsible packaging.
Socially responsible packaging is an idea that packaging shouldn't harm the environment by filling landfills and harming wildlife. Instead, packaging can drive environmental recovery by introducing new solutions that are good for our environment. I like to think of Proper Pack as my own contribution to Carlson's mission of using a business as a force for good.
The company wouldn't be where it is today if it weren't for all my experiences during my entrepreneurship degree. The idea for Proper Pack started in my introduction to entrepreneurship class, where we all pitched an idea.
We first got started on growing our own business ideas into viable concepts.
Going through the program, I kept with the idea, and I learned how to build business plans and financial statements and really how to pitch my idea.
All of these different skills let me grow both the idea and as a student, which let me have success in biz pitch and ultimately led to winning this past year's Minnesota Cup Student Division.
I'm very thankful for my experiences in the entrepreneurship program, and I'm looking forward to the next steps of launching my own business.
Connections I built while at Carlson will continue to help mentor me and serve as a support system to help me achieve my goals of debuting the product and launching full-time this fall.
Looking back on my 4 years, I encourage new students to get involved early, embrace all the experience Carlson and the Home Center have to offer, and just really enjoy the journey.
The COVID-19 pandemic has got the whole world to a standstill, with over 150 million cases and more than 3 million deaths globally. A recent CDC study shows that the rate of transmission within households is extremely high. How can we improve home quarantine safety? Can we reduce the spread in nursing homes? Team Aerosol's negative pressure mask is the answer to all these questions.
The negative pressure mask by Team Aerosol is an altruistic mask that uses negative pressure and filters the air expelled by a COVID patient, protecting the people from the wearer. Team Aerosol is a part of the new product and business development class at the University of Minnesota. Our client, startup Aspire Air, is headed by CTO Professor Chris Hogan, an aerosol expert, and CEO Tamara Bratland. Our team is comprised of a mix of mechanical engineers and business students, mentored by Professor Daniel Forbes from the Carlson School of Management. The device is made of a plastic body, replaceable MERV 16 or HEPA filters, fans that generate negative pressure and steady airflow. The mask has straps for a comfortable fit and houses a battery. Fresh air is pulled from the inlet. The negative pressure prevents exhaled air from leaking out, and this air is filtered out before being expelled at the outlet. With the negative pressure mask, we can improve home quarantine safety, provide patients with more freedom within their homes, reduce outbreaks in nursing homes, protect immunocompromised and elderly people, prevent spread of COVID and other airborne diseases and pathogens. With further refinements, the negative pressure mask will be cost effective. The negative pressure mask takes care of any minor misfits and leakage paths. The mask enables easy breathing due to a continuous supply of fresh air, unlike conventional masks.
Team Aerosol is confident that the negative pressure mask will help fight COVID-19 and all future airborne disease outbreaks.
Hi, I'm Katie Newgard. I'm a mom of two and a recent MBA grad. From the moment each of my girls were born, I wanted to give them everything they needed to grow and thrive. It's easy to find research on what will boost a baby's development, but putting that information into practice is another story. I was spending all of my time focusing on what to give my kids, and I was losing out on that critical bonding time with my children. I longed for a solution that would just do the planning for me, and that is how Flourish was born. Flourish is a subscription solution that takes the guesswork out of parenting. It provides expert-curated boxes of toys, activities, and books meant to stimulate young minds at each developmental stage. This solution is designed for interactive playtime at home, in the bath, and on the go to spark creativity and learning around every corner. In the Carlson MBA program, I had the opportunity to put my idea in front of other students in an entrepreneurship class led by Ann Cohen called Preparing and Implementing the Business Plan. What you see before you is the team that took this idea from a concept to a plan, building out the financial and operational models, devising our marketing strategies, creating a website prototype, and assessing the concept viability with market research. We learned we could beat the competition by offering a better range of products and allowing customization flexibility, and actually already have some parents who are ecstatic to sign up. So we're taking the concept to the next stage. We just officially formed the business and entered into a startup accelerator to compete for funding to pilot the business model. Seeing this concept take shape has been an incredible experience so far. The University of Minnesota has connected us to a network of entrepreneurs and experienced advisors that have shown us so much guidance, support, and encouragement. It has really enabled this idea and instilled the confidence to push forward. As a new mom, I feel what we're doing here is so important. We're giving parents the freedom to enjoy more of that precious bonding time with baby and feel confident that they are giving their baby exactly what they need to flourish. One box at a time, we are delivering peace of mind to people's doorsteps. And that is a very cool thing.
If you had asked me, when I was coming out of college, if I'd ever be running a business, I would have said no way. As time went on, I decided that, wait a minute, I know how to lead that. I know how to do that. And I found out I really like business because I could structure things. I could make things happen. I could produce products. I could go into markets, and one thing led to another. 10 years ago, I founded a company called Rebitiox, which was taking gut microbiome and trying to turn that into a therapy. And I remember at the time, everybody thought I was crazy. I knew and I believed at the time that we could solve an unmet medical need called recurrent Clostridium difficile infection. And I found that, the more I talked about it and the more I learned about it, the more people came to me and said, my family suffered from that, or I've got a child that suffered from that, which I never even knew. It's very hidden. So I became really curious and very motivated by the idea that I could take something that everybody else just threw away and turn it into a drug product that could actually save lives. We expect to be the first company in the world to have a product based on the microbiome that's actually approved by the regulators. In the fact of Rebitiox, we've taken something from nothing that never even existed before to a full-blown product in 10 years through the FDA. That's an incredible achievement, but that's because of all the things I've learned along the way, and I could string them together. I've learned so much about different businesses, and I feel like I've learned something on my own journey and want to give that back to the students and really help them maybe not make some of the same mistakes that I made along the way. What I find is that because of my experience, I'm able to ask questions that get those people to think about how they want to position their business. I have a role, and I believe I have a role in bringing other women forward into the business world. What I found is that it's not easy for women to be recognized or to understand the ropes. Most people, and women in particular, don't get that kind of coaching. And I felt that that was another thing I could pass on to them, because I really believe that the more women and other people that we get involved in our businesses creates a much higher likelihood of success. Look at what I've achieved at just reaching out to women and coaching women. Over half of our company is women, and we benefit from that. What do I aspire to for women's entrepreneurship? Well, I'd like to see as many women starting and running businesses as there are men running businesses. I mean, to me, it's not even a question. That's half of our population. So I think what the university has done and bringing forward in the Carlson School, the women's program, bringing more people into the Minnesota Cup, more women in the Minnesota Cup, it was really important. Why do I stay involved with the University of Minnesota? I believe the university is such a foundational institution in our state and has such an important role. And I feel like I'm tied into the university. I graduated from here twice, and I just really believe in its mission. I actually participated in the Minnesota Cup myself after having had a successful career and selling a business. I still learned a lot from being part of the Minnesota Cup, which re-energized my career back into the entrepreneur area again. The role that I see for the university and the community is as the kind of the innovation center. And what I've really seen is that the university has stepped up over the last 10 years and really become that driver and motivator. I see it in the Carlson School. I see it in the Office of Technology Commercialization. That's really where the university is important. As far as publicity goes, I don't feel like I need it. But I feel like it's important because if I can be in front of somebody and they can look at me and say, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's what I really hope we get out of all of this, that other people are inspired by my journey and the activities that I've done, and know that, I started from nothing with Rebitiox. And in 10 years, we've gone through the whole clinical program. We've treated over 1,000 patients today in 6 clinical studies. And if I can do that from nothing, other people can do it from nothing as well. So there should be nothing standing in people's way to try an idea and be successful and create it. So what does this award mean to me? Well, first of all, I was incredibly honored. The fact that it's associated with the University of Minnesota really meant a lot to me. I graduated twice from the University of Minnesota. I participated in a lot of things. I championed the University of Minnesota because I believe in the University of Minnesota. So to have that award come back to me from the University of Minnesota was really touching, and I'm really honored by that. People ask me, what's the biggest honor you've gotten in your career? And it isn't from being in the newspaper, but I have to say that being chosen as the Entrepreneur of the Year really was an honor to me, because I wouldn't have considered myself someone that would have been considered for that. If I was going to give a student entrepreneur some advice, The one thing I would ask them is to say, what do you want to get out of this before you even get started? Because I've found that if you aren't passionate about what you're doing, if you don't have that, I'm going to do or die kind of concept, you're not going to be successful because you get tired and there's nobody else that's going to pick up the ball from you. It takes a lot of effort and will and tears, and you're up and you're down. And if you don't have that passion and that drive, it's not going to work. I've heard a lot of people, they'll tell me, I've got this great idea, or what I hear is, well, I had that idea 5 years ago. And my question is, why didn't you do something about it? You can try something, and if it doesn't work for you, move on. But what I see is people don't even want to try because they're afraid to get started. So you may find that it's not for you. You may find this is the best thing that's ever happened, but if you don't give it a try, it's not going to work. And so that's my kind of last bit of advice is give it a try.
Hello, I'm Megan Voorhees, and I direct multiple programs at the university's Institute on the Environment, including ACARA, a program for student changemakers who are wanting to help address complex grand challenges like climate change. I teach GCC 5005, Innovation for Changemakers, and GCC 5501, Knowledge to Impact, creating action with your grand challenge project idea. In our last segment, you will be seeing a series of short student videos from 3 courses that focus on social entrepreneurship that are offered by either the Carlson School or ACARA. In each of these courses, students tackle complex societal problems, seeking to develop market-driven approaches that benefit society. After this difficult year for so many, I hope these students' passion to make a difference will give you hope and fuel your own passion to serve the common good. Following the student videos, we will hear comments from 2 people that inspire me and many on campus and in the larger community. Morgan Kerfeld, Entrepreneurship Student of the Year, and Terry Barrero, Entrepreneurship Teacher of the Year. Thank you, Morgan and Terry, for your innovative leadership.
Hi, my name is Carla Godoy. I'm a first-year student in the Master of Development Practice at the University of Minnesota, and I'm here today representing my social venture called EcoCycle. However, to talk about EcoCycle, I have to talk about myself. So I was born and raised in one of the Brazilian favelas, surrounded by fear and inequality all the time. However, I was lucky enough to be raised by a strong group of women who did not conform with what life had given them. So since very young, I've seen the power of women when they come together to help themselves and to empower themselves. However, growing up, I discovered other problems related to being a woman in our society. And one of them is related to our periods. So one single person who menstruates uses at least 15,000 sanitary pads during their lifetime. And that one single sanitary pad takes up to 500 years to decompose. It's a lot of trash for too long in our planet. And I knew actually that we had to do something about it. So my co-founders and I, we developed the first 100% biodegradable sanitary pad to be produced in Brazil. But more than that, we are going to employ women in vulnerable conditions into our production so they can have their second chance, their comeback to the labor market and empower themselves. Our production centers are going to be placed in the favelas so we can be closer to them and they can be closer to their families. With the ACAR Challenge Prize, we plan to be producing and selling the sanitary pads next semester. And by the end of the year, we want to be distributing the sanitary pads throughout the whole Brazilian territory. We have huge plans for EcoCycle. We developed our sanitary pad. They're national, international standards, so we can sell the sanitary pads overseas and replicate our model in other countries. I'm so thankful to be sharing our venture with you today. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Morgan, and with me today is Abby, Sage, and Kaylee, and we spent the last semester working on the launch of the company Heataway. Heataway was started by Kristen Trapp just over 8 months ago in an effort to support her work advocating to amend the Minnesota State Constitution to be gender neutral. Over the course of the semester, our team's responsibility was to advise and guide Kristen as she looked to launch her first business. We played a critical role in ideating and designing Hedowee's business model, value proposition, and brand strategy to determine where the business should play, how it will be adopted, and where it can grow to be a sustainable organization. So to give you all a better idea of Hedowee's vision, we wanted to share a launch video.
Women are entering politics like we've never seen before.
But you wouldn't know that by looking at our legislation.
Because if you read our state constitution, right now, it refers to everyone in there as he. He shall appoint, he shall sign.
Men are mentioned over 70 times.
It's as if the rest of us don't even exist.
We're here to change that.
Because language matters.
When legislation refers to everyone as he, or the Constitution says he shall, it assumes that men are the only leaders.
It makes some people feel more welcome than others.
And it doesn't reflect who we are or where we're going.
These spaces and institutions are incomplete without us.
The time to change has long been overdue.
This change for me would mean that these systems are starting to see not only me, but those who came before me.
It's time to change the Constitution because this is not a man's world.
It's time for change.
Because you know,
if the law said she over 70 times, it would have been changed by now.
Join us and learn more at hedowee.org.
Women are entering politics.
Throughout the semester, we advised Kristen on how best to build Hedowee's brand image through the design and launch of her website and social media accounts. Through creating a strong brand identity, Hedowee is now positioned to take on specific state constitution amendments, as well as fulfill its greater mission to eliminate gender biases in public discourse through education, advocacy, and legislation, while encouraging the breakdown of gender stereotypes in the legal community.
So here are a few examples of the Instagram posts that we created for Hedowee. And a few surprising and really big wins through our social media launch included Ilhan Omar sharing our video to her 1.4 million followers, getting over 32,000 views, and getting liked by Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye. We also wanted to give you an update on where the social media is at now. We posted 12 times on Instagram over the last month and have gained 592 followers. Lastly, the Minnesota Daily conducted an article highlighting Hedowee and Kristen's story in changing constitutional language to be gender neutral. It was exciting and a really big win to be highlighted by the university newspaper.
Overall, we're all really grateful to have had this incredible opportunity to work with Hedowee this semester. I have the opportunity to continue working with Hedowee this summer, and I'm excited to see what I'll get to work on, and we're all really excited to see where Hedowee ends up in the future.
Every day in the U.S., 500,000 people are incarcerated in jails awaiting trial. For many, the difference between awaiting trial at home versus in a cell depends on their ability to afford cash bail.
Bail was established to ensure that defendants come back for their court date. However, this benefit is not seen today, and it is only criminalizing poverty. Bond agents and insurers have combined revenue of $17.4 billion, which perpetuates the cycle of poverty and systemic racism in the bail industry.
Defendants are 9 times more likely to plead guilty to a misdemeanor if they cannot post bail, even though they may be innocent.
Bonzella's goal is to help repair the system through bail insurance. Bonzella is working to protect the innocence and safety of individuals in a time of over-policing and inequity. Bail bonds and even bail funds are reactive, stressful, and unpredictable. Bonzella's transparent, prepaid model creates a proactive solution within the communities it serves. They focus on the underbanked and overpoliced. Bonzella needed help finding revenue streams and identifying the market of bail insurance as an employee benefit, so they reached out to the Carlson Ventures enterprise. The goal of CVE is to provide students with a unique educational experience while supporting client sponsors with strategic advice. For 12 weeks, a team of 5 first-year MBA students and high-achieving undergrads worked together to find early adopters for Bonzella. Though you're supposed to presume someone is innocent until proven guilty, we found in the workforce this is not always true. During our interviews with employers and industry professionals, we found that the issue of arrest was not being discussed in the work world, and there was a strong use of coded language around the issue. And many employers said things such as, "We don't deal with employees' personal problems. There's no need for bail insurance. It does not affect our employees." While arrests and bail were not something on employers' minds, there were causes of absenteeism that they were worried about and had an interest in emerging benefits for. In a study, 77% of employers reported investing in emerging benefits. As a team, we then looked at emerging benefits and issues with regards to absenteeism that affect the same community that Vanzella targets, the underbanked and the overpoliced. Employers needed proof of Vanzella's value to them. They needed to do a cost-benefit analysis to see if bail insurance is worth it. The team created a calculator to identify the absentee and turnover costs related to employee rates, a tool to show employers that this is actually impacting them and in their bottom line.
We came up with a viable solution that our client was really happy with. We had them tackle new revenue streams along with new emerging markets that really helped satisfy them, and it was an overall great project.
Working with Vanzella taught me a lot about the systemic issues that both our state and country have faced for years. It also taught me a lot about developing products that people want and need to solve those issues. I'm super excited to see where Vanzella goes next.
I love entrepreneurship because you can build from the ground up something that's actually going to make an impact in the world. Every entrepreneur starts with a problem that they have an undying passion to solve. Originally, I was applying across the country, and a lot of the programs I'd go to would say, okay, you can either do our business program or you can go do medicine. There's not a really great way to do both. And the University of Minnesota was the first one that said, you can do both, why not? The honors program was like, yeah, sure, go to Carlson, take the pre-med classes, and then try and find experiential courses that combine the two. Entrepreneurship at the U, as many people know, is growing a lot, especially with the Home Center of Entrepreneurship. I originally got involved with it because I came into undergraduate having done a startup in the past in high school. So I was working on nonprofit through an accelerator incubator program in Chicago. So didn't do a lot of entrepreneurship until my junior year when I found out more about the ACARA program. So the company is called Shako Search. It is a tailor-made job connection platform that matches young adults to employers in Somalia. And so that experience was really unique compared to a lot of the other ones I'd had at the U so far because it went international. And even though I'm not physically there, I still get to see the benefits. And so from then on, I was just trying to find more opportunities to do experiential learning. I love entrepreneurship in action. I think it is one of the best classes at the U, if not the best. The only requirement was that you built a company. You had to go through every single step of creating a company versus just jumping in at specific stages of one. When you enter entrepreneurship in action, you get tasked with, okay, bring forward a business idea. We all kind of started at the very same front of we wanted to do something in the medical field. I think I pitched my own company idea the first week and had multiple people emailing saying, okay, let's do it. We were working on a car carrier for a rollator walker. There was a shift right away. It was no longer a student project. It was a company that we were extremely passionate about. We wanted to see make a difference in lives. The company we are working on is Tilo, and we have designed a novel posterior rollator walker. So currently rollator walkers live in front of you, and it allows it to naturally roll away from you and actually leads to a lot of falls. And in order to keep control of that device from rolling away from them, they often have to embody that hunched over position that you often see when people are using a rollator walker. So what we did is we actually flipped the frame. So instead of rolling away from you, it actually moves with you. You have integrated back support, and it allows not only the user to have better posture and walking habits, but they're actually seen first. At the same time, you have activity tracking into it. So there's load cells and wheel encoders actually integrated into the frame. And then when we can actually share that information with their physical therapist, you bring physical therapy into the home versus it being confined to a clinic. And I think our ultimate goal is really to create Tilo and make it a social impact organization in some way, shape, or form. I was informed of the award, I believe it was about a week ago. We had our last Entrepreneurship in Action class and ended up coming back at the end and announced that I would be the Entrepreneurship Student of the Year. It is an incredible honor and something I 100% did not expect. It means so much that the University of Minnesota has invested so much time and energy in me personally, and so to be recognized by an institution that has been so helpful and formative for what I want to do with my life it's an incredible honor. When you're a student, you have more resources at your disposal than you will ever have again in your entire life. And the university wants you to start companies. They want you to try and do really big and grand ideas to make an impact in this world. Just go out and do it.
like, just start something. So I did come in pre-med, and I was always pretty set that I wanted to be a doctor. But I think where my shift has been is I'm obviously not going to medical school in 3 months. I am going full-time into the business industry and working on my startups. I really want to see where business can take me. I think there's a lot of opportunities to use business as a force for good and make an impact in the world through it.
I had an opportunity by being invited to apply to be the director of the first Entrepreneurship Center at St. John's and St. Ben's. And I was selected for the position. I went into it knowing that I was really intrigued with teaching. That worked well for me, and so now I'm very confident at being able to do it. And students say, yeah, you're really helping me learn. So that's always the key. I didn't start teaching until I was 55 and just really wanted to make sure I did it well and learned how to do it. And so it's been so much fun for me, because what I try and do is to help students take these business tools and modify them so it fits with their social passion and help them be able to take advantage of that business knowledge to be able to make progress. I think that's also why I like teaching startup is, you know, starting things is where all the high energy is, and if you can figure out how to get people the tools they need to endure those first few years, then you've got success and hopefully better solutions. The thing that I love is when people say, what you just taught me makes me realize that what I had been working on has a potential. With entrepreneurship, you really have to use it and apply it and make it your own. And so when students say, I get this now, here's how I'm using it, that's what the reward is for me. I just get hooked on their enthusiasm and passion. And I know that I've got some tools that will really help them be able to be successful quicker. And that's what compels me. And many of the social entrepreneurs I work with are also working on issues that I've been struggling to figure out new solutions for most of my career. So I was surprised and honored when you said, you're getting this award. And because I've always been aspiring to be identified as a real instructor of merit, that getting the award like that was like, oh, I got it, I'm there. The biggest change is students believe that we can make the world a better place, and they're more willing to try things. And those two things together, I think, have created a generation of people that are bringing their ideas to that solution. I always ask people what's closest to your heart. You know, what is it that makes you say, oh, I don't like that, that's got to change. Stick with that, because that's the motivation you're going to need to get going.
Great. We are back live at the Toaster, and congratulations again to each of our Entrepreneurs of the Year. Lee, Terry, and Morgan have really been an inspiration throughout the community, on campus, and in the classroom, and we thank you for your commitment to the university and your broader impact on the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We also want to thank the many supporters and benefactors that make these type of classes possible. There are literally hundreds of mentors and advisors and companies sponsoring these, and certainly in terms of the Home Center, thanking Gary Holmes for his support for the center and also for this Toaster Innovation Hub that we're standing in today, John and Annette Whaley for making possible the MinCore program that supports technology commercialization, both across campus and now across the state through Launch Minnesota, and also Bill and Susan Sands through their fellowship programs that helps social entrepreneurship. And in addition to that, literally hundreds of other supporters that help to fund these experiential opportunities for our students. And finally, we want to congratulate many of the graduates and other students you heard presenting today. There is certainly no better time to be an entrepreneur and no more important time to be an entrepreneur in terms of addressing the challenges. And I think that the lessons that these students have taken away, and they're building up their muscles in terms of perseverance and dealing with the challenges in this past year, will give them an education that will take them far in their career. And we're excited to follow that and invite them back as alumni as we gather again back on campus. So we look forward to having you in our Toaster space Come the fall, we will fully reopen in September and look forward to hosting many events and inviting everyone back on campus. So thank you for joining us today. Have a great day.